Hi, I'm Ramble and this is another monthly design. If you want to see how much I failed to digitally draw Jigglypuff, keep watching. This is the first time I've ever done digital drawing, but I have been super interested into getting into it. So I watched an amazing tutorial, which I will link down below, explaining the basics of this skill. I was so inspired I wanted to do this by myself, and taking a reference picture of Jigglypuff, I tried to remember all the steps and get going. Emphasis on tried, as during the process I realised the multiple mistakes I'd made. But I didn't erase them in the sense that when I moved on to the next step, I didn't go back to change the previous steps I've done, even though I did see, okay, I should have made the outline a little bit thinner and stuff like that. So this is a really honest first look on my first attempt at digital drawing. As you have seen, I used a sketch layer and a rough drawing layer to get the general shape of Jigglypuff correct. Now being on the ink layer, I really embraced the Command Z and went through the agonizing pain of drawing circles and ovals. I've seen so many comics about illustrators that press undo a million times, even though most attempts were fine to begin with. Here's one, for example. Definitely check her out on Instagram, she is so fantastic. After finally deciding to move on to the next step, I went on to colouring. Filling in the pink went well, and when it came to the eyes, I totally messed up the layers that made the shading not as simple for the eyes as it was for the body. However, even though I made a lot of mistakes, I loved every minute of it. It was so much fun and just a different experience to drawing on paper. I can imagine the undo button being a blessing and a curse, but I loved that feature because I could draw freely and make mistakes and have the easy option to just undo. There's this thing about drawing on paper that seems so daunting, and I've never been into shading because it would always mess up my drawing, and then I would have to erase it. That would mess up my outlines that I thought were good, and I just grew to have a love-hate relationship with drawing. In the end, I'm quite pleased with the result, and I hope to see improvements in my skills in a year, for example. Without further ado, here's the final result, plus the reference picture I used. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up or subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!